Dear Dr. Becky, sometimes I'll hear a song or see something that reminds me of a really difficult past experience, and suddenly I'm overwhelmed with emotions. It confuses me because I thought I had already healed and forgiven. Why do these old feelings keep coming back? And does it mean I haven't really moved on?
That is such a great question and one that I hear often. Many people wonder why certain memories that can be triggered by a simple song, a smell, or even a passing comment can feel so powerful even years later. So, thank you for the question because today we're going to explore why our brains hold on to these emotional memories and what it really means when they resurface. And of course, how you can handle these moments in healthy ways. I wondered if you watching have ever been caught off guard by a memory in your past, one that brings up very strong feelings, maybe such as anger, sadness, or even guilt. No doubt that you have, because that is how our brain works. You might even be thinking to yourself, well, I thought I moved on from this, so why does it still hurt so much? Well, let's unpack this together. That memory could be triggered by any of our senses. Something we see, smell, touch, taste, something that we hear, something that seems similar to what's happened in our past. And then all of a sudden, it throws you right back in time. With the memory comes that powerful emotion, and it shows up. And it can feel very difficult and very painful. We call that a flashbulb memory. That is a type of a memory that's like a vivid snapshot in your brain, and it takes over during these emotionally charged moments. And when the memory lights up, it doesn't just bring back the facts, it brings the feelings and the emotions attached to it. So that's why a lot of people get tripped up right then. They tell me, I thought I moved on. I thought I forgave. So why am I feeling this all over again? Well, here's the truth. Just because you feel the old emotion doesn't mean that you are stuck in the past. It means that your brain saved that moment with the emotions altogether. So when you recall the memory you're experiencing, the emotional imprint will show up with it. That doesn't undo your growth or your forgiveness. So the next time a memory hits you hard, take a breath and remind yourself, this is not my brain replaying the past and defining my present. It is because our brains are wired to prioritize strong emotional memories. They are meant to help us to learn and protect us. So that's why we remember them. Of course, the downside is that when something reminds us of that difficult event, it can be very difficult because then we start experiencing those tough emotions right in the present, as if it's happening all over again. And for example, I'm sure you've heard of that term forgiveness and forget, right? Forgive and forget. So many people think, well, wait a second, I thought I'd moved on. I thought I forgave. Why am I remembering this? Well, as I mentioned, our brain is programmed to remember easily so it doesn't forget, especially those strong flashbulb memories. Strong emotional memories are especially powerful, so they don't just disappear because we've processed the event of forgiving someone. Think of them like a bookmark in your brain, and the emotion is part of the memory. And sometimes that bookmark just gets pulled out by something happening right now. So, what can you do to handle these moments? Well, let me just walk you through it. First, recognize what's happening when a memory surfaces with a strong emotion. Second, remind yourself that this is just your brain remembering, and it doesn't mean you're back in the moment or that you haven't moved forward. Third, validate your feelings. Emotions are natural, they're just signals, and it's okay to feel them, even if they're uncomfortable. Fourth, ground yourself in the present. Remind yourself of where you're at, who you are now, and how far you've come or moved on since that event. If the emotion is overwhelming, now's a great time to use some grounding techniques like focusing on your breathing or naming things you see around you. And of course, don't forget to reflect on your progress. Sometimes revisiting an emotional memory is a chance to notice how much you've grown since that time of the event. Mostly remember, just because you feel something doesn't mean you haven't healed. Healing doesn't erase the memory or the emotion, but it does change how you live with it. And that's okay because emotional memories remind us of what we've been through, but they also remind us of how resilient we are. Thank you so much for writing in and sharing, and I appreciate the rest of you watching. If you want to share your story, please comment below. And of course, share this with someone who might need this reminder today. Don't forget, your mind matters because you matter. See you next time.